Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. Let's start today's class coming down into a comfortable seated position. You're always welcome to bring a block or maybe even a pillow under your hips, adding a little extra cushion or even a chair. You can bring your legs into crisscross applesauce. You could send them out long, or even bring the soles of the feet to the floor with the knees bent. Wherever you're settling into, take a moment to arrive. Allow your shoulders to relax, the hands to get a little slack in the muscles. Maybe you close your eyes or simply soften your gaze. And then with the next few exhales, see if you can begin to soften, to grow a little heavier into your space. We'll start to bring our awareness to the parts of our body that are touching the floor or another surface. And I want you to pay so much attention to that detail of where your body stops and the surfaces you're resting on begin, that you can almost feel that boundary, that point of contact. We'll take that same detail of awareness as we take it away from the parts of our body that are touching the floor and dial into the parts of our body that are touching our clothing. And then noticing the parts of your body that are touching the air that surrounds you. And as we continue this awareness practice today, we'll start to dial it inward, noticing any sensations, whether they're physical, such as aches or pains, tweaks, twinges, tiredness. Or maybe the sensations are more emotional or mental. Just taking a moment to acknowledge and to check in, to notice those minute details. Beautiful job. We'll start to get into our breathing exercise next, as we start to pay that much attention to the breath. First, we'll notice where it's coming in, either at the nose or the mouth. We'll follow the air as it transcends down the windpipe, opening the lungs, allowing the rib cage and torso to expand. And then following the air as it leaves, maybe even noticing the temperature change from the inhale to the exhale. And as we're paying attention to that breath, we'll start to come into our breathing exercise for today, which is a deep belly breath. In a deep belly breath, we breathe in and out through the nose if it's available to us. Slow, long, steady inhale, and a slow, long, steady exhale. The belly fills like a balloon and deflates as you exhale. May even be nice to bring your hands onto the torso so you can feel this expansion, contraction. as we tap into our vast awareness of our breath. We'll continue with that deep belly breathing for the next few moments. Mindfulness is an evidence-based awareness practice where we pay attention on purpose to the present moment. There is an element of spirit, of source, or even mysticism that I cannot put into words and can only be experienced through the practice. There's a part of our awareness that understands the magic of the universe, but knows that we are guided. I believe meditation is the magic. In the beginning, the skeptics thought it was something esoteric. But these practices are now also backed by scientific studies. Meditation has been proven to hardwire our brains for happiness, thanks to our brain's neuroplasticity. The recipe for happiness is a little bit of meditation and a little bit of magic. So as you breathe here, allow your awareness to remain open, taking in the reality of this moment, as well as the magic. Your awareness is vast. We'll begin to allow our breathing to find its own natural rhythm, releasing that deep belly breath, but knowing that we can return to it throughout our practice as a mental focus. We'll then take a moment to offer ourselves a little bit of gratitude. We took time out of our day to find space to connect with our awareness. Continuing to breathe slowly as we start to wiggle fingers and toes, maybe even fluttering the eyes open. As when you're ready, we'll start to add a little gentle movement to our practice. All right, if we did take a crisscross applesauce, go ahead and switch it up so that we're balancing out here. And then we'll drop our chin down towards our chest, but actively roll your shoulders back so that you're feeling straight through the spine until you get to your neck. And that's when your chin rolls down to your chest. And then start to take half circles, letting your ear roll over towards one shoulder, let the chin come down towards the chest, and then roll over towards the other shoulder. Take this left to right at your own pace. And as you start to find just some gentle movement through the neck here, if you want to take full circles, maybe taking the head in one direction a few times and then reversing it. Or if you find a spot that feels a little sticky, icky, you're welcome to maybe bring a hand up and assist in your stretching here. We'll take just a few more breaths through our neck. Beautiful job. Whenever you Find a moment, go ahead and find your stillness, coming back up to that straight spine. And then we'll just move down our spine as we start to take circles through the waist. We'll allow our spine to pull forward on our inhales, and we'll allow it to round back on our exhales. We'll use our shoulders and our elbows so that we're really allowing ourselves to get into this round movement through the torso, through the rib cage. Maybe even getting bigger and bigger each circle. And then start to go in the opposite direction. All right, we'll come back up to our straight spine. From here, we'll bring our hands to a prayer at heart center, and then let's circle them out to a T, bringing our hands out wide to the side. From here, we're going to start to move through the wrists, taking them in circles, little circles at first. Beautiful job. And then reverse those wrist circles. Great job. Now we're going to start to find stillness through the wrist, but then circle through the shoulders. So big old arm circles. Make them as big or as little as feels good for your shoulder joint today. Great job. And then let's reverse them. Next, inhale, let the arms float up and overhead. Maybe take the gaze up and then bring it down through a prayer at heart center. We'll then use our hands to separate our legs, coming into a butterfly pose. Those heels can scrunch in towards your hips or stay a little bit further. And you're also welcome, since this is our first opening of those hips, maybe you'd like to add some props like blocks or something like a couple of books under those knees. All right, we're still sitting up tall through the spine. Let's inhale, circle, and let the arms float up. And then with our exhale, we'll cactus the arms, bringing the elbows towards the sides of the body. As we pull our heart forward, we pull our elbows and shoulders back, starting to lift our chin. Great job. Inhale, let the arms float back up. And then with an exhale, let's bring the hands down through a prayer. They can rest on your legs or maybe on some props. We're going to take it in a hinge forward onto our butterfly, drawing our heart just a little bit closer towards the legs. Beautiful job. One more breath here. Inhale, begin to walk the hands back towards the hips, coming up to your straight spine. We're going to drop the right hand outside of the right hip to the floor or onto a prop. And then let's take it into a side bend as we lean over towards the right side. You can stay high on the hand. You can come down onto the elbow. Or again, maybe there's a prop involved. We want to be mindful though, bring our awareness to this top shoulder, make sure we're not dumping it towards the floor, but instead we're pulling it back towards the wall behind us and then finding that extension through the right or the left side of the body. Inhale, float up. Exhale, twist to the same side. The hand behind you presses into the floor or into your prop, helping to lift the spine a little bit taller. And where is your awareness in this moment? Is it checking in with the poses and the movements of the muscles, the joints, or the ligaments? Or do you notice it starting to flutter away to the things of today? Inhale through center. Exhale, we're going to lean to the left. This is our challenge today, is to lean into that vast awareness, to see if you can connect with your awareness throughout the practice. Now, it could be a specific awareness that you really want to create an intention of dialing into. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist the same side. Or maybe it's a more general awareness of how your body is feeling, or a feeling of happiness. So as we move today, finding that deep listening or deep belly breath. As we move through our practice, we find our awareness. Inhale to flow through center. Exhale, bring it down through a prayer. Go ahead and use your hands to bring your knees back towards each other. And then from here, we're going to come into a hero's pose. So feel free to move all these props if you don't need them out of your way. We're going to bring our knees together, our heels together. We can always add a prop here, like a block under our hips. Our toes can be tucked or untucked, depending on what feels better for our feet. And of course, if you do decide to tuck them and then change halfway through, feel free to do that as it feels appropriate in your body. Alrighty, we are in our hero's pose. We'll inhale, we'll start to let the arms float up to a T, and then we're gonna flip one palm up and keep one palm down here. We're gonna start to find a little bit of movement here. And as we inhale, we're gonna pull our waist from the hips towards the side with the palm face down. We're gonna pull it as far over towards that side as we can until we can't go anymore. And then once we reach that point, we're gonna flip the palms and pull in the other direction. Take this at your own pace, left to right. Rotating through the shoulders. Imagining the rib cage like a deck of cards, sliding right, sliding left. You could even maybe imagine a shimmy shake type dance. That feels like a great visualization. Great job. One more time on each side. Come back through center. And then let's go ahead and come into a tabletop pose. Bringing hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And a straight spine from the hips to the top of the head. With our next exhale, feel free to drop your belly and lift your gaze. And then inhale to draw your spine up towards the ceiling and drop your chin to your chest. Take this cat-cow at your own pace. Really allow yourself to move through the spine. Beautiful job. All right, go ahead and find your stillness, tabletop pose. And then we're going to start to send that left foot back. We're going to tuck the toes and start to press through the heel. And then as you inhale, lift the opposite arm. We'll come into a spinal balance. Now you're welcome to keep those left toes grounded here, or maybe start to lift them up to about hip height. Reaching fingers and toes in opposite directions. And then with your next exhale, see what it feels like to curl your elbow under your body, curl your knee under your body. Start to reach elbow towards your knee, rounding through the spine. Inhale, take it long. Exhale, round. 2 more times. Inhale to extend. Exhale to drop both hands back into your tabletop. We're going to lift that back leg up as high as it feels good, maybe dipping just a little bit through the torso, and then cross it over the opposite leg, tucking the toe on the ground. Begin to look over that same shoulder as you look back at that foot, creating a nice stretch through the entire left side of your body. Great job. Bring it back through center. tabletop pose. Feel free to roll out the wrists. And then when you're ready, we'll come back in. Inhale, right leg back, tuck the toes, left arm long. Maybe lift right toes, spinal balance. Find your 5, elbow to knee rounds. After your last one, extending everything long. Dropping left hand. And then lifting right leg as high as you can, crossing it over the left, hugging the toes on the floor. As you begin to look over that left shoulder back at your right leg. Beautiful job. Let's go ahead and come back through center. We'll go to side 1, tuck those toes. Let the heel push back, take it into just a calf stretch here. Now you're welcome to stay in this long extended pushing through the heel position, or it might feel better to rock over the ball of the foot coming in and out of the heel stretch, calf stretch. Beautiful job. All right, go ahead and bring that back in. Switch sides. Side 2, taking into the calf stretch. Again, maybe you're just holding and pushing the heel back. Maybe you're rocking over that ball of your foot a couple of times. Beautiful job. Our next inhale comes back to our tabletop. And then let's find our way up to a standing mountain position, getting there in our own time and then in our own way. Maybe even taking a sip if you're noticing the awareness that you're thirsty. Coming into our mountain pose, we settle into our feet. We feel that awareness, that boundary between the floor and our bodies. We begin to take that awareness, letting the energy travel up through our ankles, our shins, our calves, through the knees, through the thighs, into the hips. We notice the awareness there as we draw it up through our body like a ray of energy, traveling the lines through our body till they come out through the top of our head, reaching all the way into the sky. Beautiful job. All right, inhale, circle arms up and overhead, let them float up. Feel that length and extension, just like we imagined a moment ago. And then as we exhale, we're gonna swan dive, taking a gentle bend in the knees as we hinge forward, the arms come out wide. We can rest on the floor, our props, or our legs. We're taking this first forward fold. Take a moment here. You can keep your hands where they are. You could grab opposite elbows. You can start to rock from side to side, lifting heels, swinging the legs and the hips. You could even find a little movement through the face, the jaw, and the neck. Beautiful job. With our next exhale, pause and fold into your forward fold. Letting hands release to their previous location. Inhale, halfway lift, figure 7. Exhale, fold. We're gonna bend the knees deeply. We're gonna sink the hips towards the heels, and then we're gonna take a slow roll, coming all the way to our mountain pose. Great job. Let's take our feet just a little bit wider than hip distance with the toes out and the heels in. As we inhale, we're gonna lift up arms, 5-pointed star. And with an exhale, we're gonna come into our shallow squat. Now we don't want to go super deep here, so we're going to keep it pretty shallow and then start to bend and cactus those arms. Beautiful job. Inhale, arms come out wide, 5-pointed star. Exhale, sink it back in, shallow squat. Now bring your left hand over towards your right knee and twist. And if it doesn't reach the knee, you can have it all the way from the hip all the way to the knee, whatever feels better. Inhale through center. Exhale, take it over to the opposite side. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, step it into mountain. Beautiful job. Alrighty, let's take our right hand and place it on our right hip. Take that left hand, start to circle it out to the side, and then let's bring it up and over. Side bend. Great job. Come back through center, switch sides. Beautiful job. Come back through center. All right, we're gonna add on to that. So this time we're gonna step the left foot back about a foot, coming onto the ball of the foot, just lifting the heel up like you're standing on a high heel shoe. We're gonna keep our right hand on our right hip, left hand circles up and over. Beautiful job. We're gonna keep that leg back right where it is. And then as we allow our hands to come down, come into a forward fold again. Noticing how having that foot stepped back changes the stretch throughout the legs. Great job. Inhale, come back up to standing. Mountain pose. We'll step left foot in. Step right foot back. Left hand on left hip. Right hand up and over. Inhale through center. Exhale, rain it down, forward fold. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, step it into your mountain. Alrighty, beautiful job. From our mountain pose, let's step the left leg back for a warrior one. So we're gonna turn the toes out just slightly. The heel reaches towards the center and the back. We're gonna start to bend through that front knee. As we take our front hips and point them in that direction, we're imagining maybe that front hip is pulling back, that back hip is pulling forward, and that juxtaposition puts them in perfect alignment, pointing straight forward. All right, hands can stay on your hips, maybe come to a prop, maybe they come to a prayer, or maybe you start to send your hands up high into the air. Beautiful warrior one. Our next inhale, we're gonna straighten that front leg. We're gonna let the hands float to the lower back. Now you can keep them just on your hips. You could interlace fingers, grab opposite wrists, grab opposite elbows, even just grab your own shirt here. As we draw the knuckles down towards the floor and then start to find a hinge over this front leg in a pyramid pose. Now from this bind, you could keep your hands on your hips. You could start to lift them up and overhead. Or if you'd like to release the hands onto a prop, you're welcome to do that as well. Being mindful though, to bring your awareness into the ligament of that front knee and noticing if it feels like it needs a little release, then finding a bend in the front knee. Beautiful job. Inhale, warrior one. Bending through that front knee. All right, we're gonna take this into a humble warrior, which means we're gonna turn our hips from forward to about a 45-degree. We're gonna bring our body right inside that bent front knee. And if you have a prop like a block that you'd like to use, you can bring it at that angle if you'd like. And as you're ready, allow those hands to sink down, almost like a downward dog, so that the hands are reaching towards the prop. You're folding inside that front leg, a little or a lot. And that front leg has a nice, generous bend to it. You're doing a beautiful job in your humble warrior. Inhale, warrior one. Great job. Release the hands, step the back foot in. Take any movement that you might want to reset. And then as you're ready, step right foot back. We set up for warrior one. On this side. You're doing a beautiful job. Exhale, sink it in a little deeper, front knee. Exhale, release hands behind the back. Take the bind, but switch it up. Opposite thumb or some other way to switch it up. Draw those knuckles down. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, hinge and forward fold. Pyramid pose. Hands on hips, lifted or lowered. Maybe the same as last time, maybe different, but we bring our awareness into this moment each time. Exhale to release hands if you didn't already. Inhale, warrior one. All right, setting up for that humble warrior. We're gonna bring our hips to that 45 degrees. We're gonna bring a prop to that 45 degrees. And when we're ready, we're gonna find that hinge inside that front bent leg. Humble warrior. Pressing in to that, to the hands or the prop. Inhale, warrior one. Beautiful job. Let's step it up into our mountain pose. All righty, for this next movement, we're going to take a little bit of a balance challenge. And as always for balance challenges, you're welcome to come next to a prop for a little support. And for this one in particular, you may want something like a strap, something long and skinny, from a yoga strap to a belt or even a sports sock. All righty, I'm going to come into our mountain pose, making sure to feel our awareness along all the edges of our feet, pressing into the earth. We're going to start to shift our weight over to the left side, the side closest to our prop if we're using it, and then start to lift that right knee a little or a lot. Now you're always welcome to keep the toe on the floor, or even to bring a prop under it for some more support, or see about lifting that knee up to hip height. Maybe flexing through the foot. Alrighty, with our next exhale, we're going to bring that heel back towards our hip. Maybe holding it with your hand, maybe you're holding it with your pant leg, or maybe again you're using something long and skinny that's helping you draw that heel up towards your hip. And this is our dancer's stretch. A nice quad stretch, going a little deeper than the hero's pose we took earlier. Alrighty, now for this pose, you're always welcome to stay up really tall, or you could start to lean forward, kicking the foot back towards your hand. You may need to give yourself a little more space from your prop if you choose the leaning of the dancers. And make sure you have a nice gentle bend in the standing leg. Great job. Inhale, start to come back up to a straight spine if you took the lean. And then we'll release the foot towards the floor. Feel free to take any movement. Great job. We're going to set up for side two. For side two, I'm going to show you another variation that you can use if you don't want to use a strap. You could also use a prop like a wall or something behind you. A chair or desk or anything. So All right, we'll start second side. We'll start to bend the knee, maybe lift the toes, bring it up to hip height if that's available for you. Exhale, start to bring that heel behind the hip again, holding it for anywhere from your strap to your foot, to your ankle, to your pants. Or if you're using the other prop, like a wall or anything, allow that foot to rest up against said prop. Alrighty, you can either continue to work on that quad stretch and keeping the spine straight, or if you'd like to start to find the hinge forward, you're welcome to do that as well. Always make sure to have a nice generous bend in the standing leg. And if you're not holding your foot because you're using a prop too, maybe reach towards it like you're trying to grab it. Beautiful job. Last breath here. Inhale, straight spine. If you came into the forward lean. Exhale to release the foot. Mountain pose. Beautiful job. All right, we're gonna take either a wall. You could also do this on the floor, but I'll give you a wall option first. And we're gonna bring our elbows to about shoulder distance apart. Now we can keep those hands parallel, or you can bring them to interlace and create a triangle shape. Whichever variation. Start to walk the hips back and lean the forehead in between the arms here as we come into a standing dolphin pose. Getting this beautiful stretch through the shoulders, the wrists, or the underarms, or anywhere else that you're noticing. If you're choosing to take dolphin from the floor, you want to bring the elbows to the same position and then lift the knees off the floor with a downward dog upper body. Same stretch through the shoulders, armpits, neck. Takes the element of gravity out to do it on the wall versus the floor. Alrighty, we'll take one last breath in our dolphin of choice. And then let's exhale to release, coming back into our standing mountain pose. Alrighty, we have one more sequence of standing poses before we move down into our cool down. So from our standing mountain pose, step the left foot back for high lunge. Keep both knees bent. We're pulling our thighs together. We're engaging our core. And same as before, hands can be on your prop. They could stay on your front leg. Prayer. Maybe start to lift them up high in the air. Great job. From here, let's bring our right hand to our right hip, the same one as your front leg. And then let's take it into a lean over towards that side. Inhale to bring it back through a straight spine. Exhale, we're going to twist it. So we're going to turn our torso towards that front leg. You can send the arms out wide to a T. Great job. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale, we're going to take the same hand as the back leg. Let it come back down by the hip. And then maybe even slide down the back leg. Reversing our crescent lunge. Inhale to bring it back through center. Beautiful job. Exhale, let the hands come to circle to frame that front foot on the floor or a prop. Step the back foot in. Forward fold. Great job. We'll come right into second side, stepping right foot back. Inhaling, crescent lunge. Left hand comes to left hip. knee into the left. Inhale through center. Twist to the left. Inhale through center. Taking the right hand, letting it come down along the hip. Stay on the hip or slide down the back leg, reversing your crescent lunge. Inhale through crescent lunge. Exhale to release the hands to frame the front foot. Step it in. Beautiful job. Forward fold. Bend the knees so deeply that you can bring your hands down to the mat. Maybe you come up onto a toe stand as you do. And then let's step it into a tabletop. Beautiful job. From our tabletop, we're going to bring our right foot forward as we come in, knee forward as we come into a pigeon pose. We're going to take the right foot over towards the left side of the space and then slide the left leg back. You can stay up high on the spine. You can add a prop under the hips. Or if you'd like to maybe come down onto elbows for a resting pigeon, you are welcome to do that. Or come down onto a prop. Let yourself sink into that hip. You're doing a beautiful job. Our inhale slides our hands back under our shoulders. We're going to drop onto that right hip. Take that left leg from behind us. Swing it around. Cross it over that right knee. Sitting up really tall for a sage twist. Exhale, twist towards the left. Now you can capture the left knee with the right elbow or hook it on the outside as you twist to the left. Great job. Exhale, we're going to unwind the same way we came in. So swing that left leg back behind you onto hands and knees, and then come into tabletop. Feel free to take any movement you need. And then we'll start on the left side, bringing left knee behind left wrist, walking the left toes towards the right, sending the right leg back. And we're going to spend just a few breaths here. So again, you're welcome to stay in king pigeon with the spine long, or maybe start to settle into a sleeping pigeon. Still tucking the chin though, making sure the neck is lengthened. Settling into that vast awareness. As we inhale, we slide hands under shoulders. We're going to start to drop towards the left hip, swinging the right leg around so that we can come into our sage twist. Right foot comes outside of left leg. We sit up as tall as we can. And with our exhale, we bring the right hand behind us as we twist left shoulder towards the right knee. Beautiful. Exhale, we're going to start to unwind. We're going to uncross the legs here, bringing the feet to about hip distance apart in front of us. Knees nice and bent. We're going to end up rolling down in from the seat into a ball. Hug the knees in towards your chest and take a nice rock from side to side, or even along the spine. And then we're going to start to bring the tails as close to the hips as feels good, with the knees bent about feet hip distance apart.
Shoulders resting, neck is extended. Go ahead and grab a block or even a pillow and bring it close by. And as we inhale, we're going to start to take a bridge pose, squeezing the glutes, lifting the hips as high as feels good, and then taking that prop we chose, sliding it under the lower back, letting the lower back relax up against it. Beautiful job. Now maybe you circle your hands overhead here, opening up through the torso. And let's take that right foot into a figure four, bringing the right ankle over to the left knee and letting the knee open to the right side. So similar to our pigeon pose, but a little different. Beautiful job. Exhale to release right side, bridge pose. And then inhale, left side, figure four. Beautiful job. Exhale to release bridge pose into bridge pose. We'll take one last breath here. Our next inhale, we'll squeeze through the glutes, lifting our lower back off of our prop of choice, and then use your hand to nudge it out of the way. Still squeezing the glutes, keeping it active in your lower body and abdomen. And then with a slow exhale, release one vertebra at a time until your hips land. Go ahead and windshield wiper the knees a couple of times, rolling left to right through the hips. And we'll end today's practice in a supine bound angle pose or butterfly pose. So the soles of the feet will come together, the knees can open wide. If you want, you can add props under the knees. If you're noticing that this feels uncomfortable in that lower back area, a great variation is to bring legs up the wall in a butterfly pose, and that'll bring the lower back flush with your floor and still give you that legs wide opening, but a little gentler on the lower back. So it's up to you whether you're laying flat with the knees open or you're up a wall with the knees open in your butterfly pose. Maybe you allow your eyes to close here. Coming into that deep listening breath. Again, we breathe in and out through the nose. Slow, steady inhale. Feeling the torso expand like a balloon. And the slow, steady exhale to release. Now, if you're really enjoying this butterfly position, you're welcome to hold it for our final resting pose. But if you'd like to come out of it, starting to draw the knees together, you can come into a constructive rest. The knees touching. You can send the legs long in a corpse pose. And you can add any pillows, blankets, or blocks that you might want so that you can start to make this a place where you can relax on command. As you settle in, maybe you allow your eyes to close or once again, simply soften the gaze. Letting it blur over. With a vast awareness, we can often dial into the details of not only the present moment, but also the future and the past. Doing so draws us away from the present moment. Away from
relaxation. So today we'll end our practice using that vast awareness as we start to dive into a guided imagery meditation to follow. Allow your body to relax more and more. See if you can start to relax your mind as well. We'll begin to imagine that we're outside at dusk. It's still light out, but the sun has started to set below the horizon. It is a pleasant temperature outside. It's comfortable. And you are in a safe and peaceful place where you would enjoy watching the stars from. It's maybe a place you've been to many times before, or maybe only here in your imagination today. But it's far away from city and town lights. And this place might be a farm or in the mountains, a prairie or by the ocean. Picture this place in your mind's eye, using your vast awareness. Imagine the details of your surroundings. Are you sitting on a chair or laying in a blanket? Your position allows you to see the vast dome spread above you. And maybe you even feel yourself relaxing, enjoying the solitude. The sky is gradually becoming darker, with the highest part of the sky, a deep indigo color, becoming darker and darker as the moments pass. This color blends into a lighter shade, almost green, at the horizon. And the sky is a most interesting shade of pink, mixed with the gray of the fading light. Sometimes it can feel so peaceful watching the details of the night sky as it darkens. Maybe there's a subtle shift in the air around you as it becomes still and calm. Maybe in the distance you can hear crickets or frogs singing. Maybe the air has slightly cooled down a little. Well, pleasant, but cool against your forehead and cheeks. And as you look at the horizon, shapes like trees or buildings are so distant and in silhouette. Your eyes slowly adjusting to the decreasing lights. Straight up above, the sky grows darker and is nearly black as it fades to a lighter color near the horizon in the west. You then see the first star appear. Only one star at first, then another, and another. You see them twinkle, shining like tiny diamonds. As you look at the darkening sky, you see more and more stars, relaxing enjoying the dusk as we watch the night begin. The sky is even darker now. It has become dark black with only a slight hint of light at the horizon where the sun has just set. The sky is so clear. You don't see a single cloud anywhere to obscure the starry sky. Even more stars have appeared. And the sky looks like it has been sprinkled by a salt shaker full of gleaming crystals. Some stars are bright, luminous. Others are tiny specks that you can barely see. Simply enjoying, relaxing under the stars. This quiet retreat. Now the sky is pitch black. Out here, away from city lights, the stars are amazingly bright. And there are so many stars you would never be able to count them all. But can you see any constellations formed by the stars? Like a connect the dots spread out before you. The starry sky, so huge, so vast. A beautiful glimmering blanket of stars stretches all around you. Maybe you take the biggest breath of your day so far as you enjoy the beautiful starry sky and using your awareness to tap into the details. Our body inside and out is now completely relaxed. Beautiful job. And start to allow the night sky to fade from our minds. As we slowly come back and notice the boundaries between our body and the surfaces supporting us, between our clothes and our skin. And then as you're ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes, taking any movement. As you start to come up into an upright position, facing me. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you can tap into your vast awareness this week and give yourself a moment of presence in that individual moment. Our awareness is so vast, we can sometimes take in too much, but we can also lean into that if we allow ourselves to. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great week ahead of you. Thank you.